Hi, it's Saturday the 25th of June 2022. I'm spending the summer walking from Land's End to John O'Groats. At the moment I'm in Preston and I'm spending the next few days walking to Carlisle. So today I'll be walking to Garstang. I don't think I'll be doing much filming over the next couple of days because it's not going to be a very interesting walk to Garstang. I'm just walking along an A road all day, and I think the walk to Lancaster the next day isn't going to be too exciting, and I think tomorrow is going to be quite wet. But as I start approaching Carlisle, I think the countryside will be starting to get a lot more interesting, so I'm quite looking forward to that. So it's not been a very exciting morning. I've just been following the A6 towards Garstang. I'm only about a couple of miles from there now, but it's been a nice easy walk, and I'm another 15 miles closer to John O'Groats. So the plan this afternoon, I'm just going to go to a supermarket in Garstang, and then there's a wood close to the town with a footpath going through it. So I'm just going to pop over to there and find a nice camping spot for the night. I've just arrived in Garstang. I'm just popping over to a Morrison's supermarket. It's just up there. I don't think I'll be seeing much of the town. I'm just going up into the woods, but I don't think there's much to see here anyway. It's just a small place. So I'm just going to stock up with food and then head out into the woods. I changed my mind about camping in a wood tonight because there's a campsite just to the north of the town, and it sounds quite nice and quite affordable, so I thought I may as well come here tonight. So I'll be camping in a campsite. The town is very close to a canal. I think this is the Lancaster Canal, but I've seen a lot of tourists on sailing holidays, so maybe Garstang is a popular place for them to stock up while sailing along. So I've just put my tent up at Greaves Farm campsite. It's a bit more luxurious than camping in the woods tonight, I guess, and I'm another couple miles closer to Lancaster tomorrow, so it's a very easy walk. So I'm now going to plan my walk and then listen to the radio, and then tomorrow morning continue my walk northwards. So until then, good night. Sunday the 26th of June. It's not on the Ordnance Survey map, but I was googling about the route up to Lancaster this morning, and there's a canal path all the way along the Lancaster Canal. So I'm going to give it a try, and if I run out of path I'll just have to go onto a road, but it'll make it a much more pleasant walk than walking along the A6 all morning. So I'm going to look for the path. So today's plan, it's only a 10-mile walk to Lancaster along a canal path, and I'm staying in a hotel this evening, so if I get there a bit early I'm just going to go up to Lancaster Castle to have a look around and then head back to the hotel. And then the next day I think I'm heading to Silverdale, and that's when I start seeing more of the Lake District. So the canal path, it's 57 miles long, and you can walk from Preston up to Kendal along the Lancaster Canal. But I was reading a blog last night of someone who's done it, and they said as it gets up to Kendal it starts getting a little bit derelict and you have to take some detours. But it's strange it's not on the Ordnance Survey map. It's a very pleasant walk, this. I've just arrived at the very splendid Lancaster Castle. So the early history of the castle isn't very well documented, but it's believed that there used to be a Roman fort here on this hill, and then the Normans would have built a stone castle. This gatehouse, this was built around 1399 when Henry the Duke of Lancaster became King of England. He became Henry IV, and he would have built this gatehouse about the same time. So the public are allowed inside, so I'm just going to have a wander around. So Lancaster Castle has had a relatively peaceful life compared to a lot of castles in the UK. It was actually attacked twice by the Scottish in 1322 and then in 1389, which is why they decided to make a much larger gatehouse. And it was involved in the Civil War. The Parliamentarian army held it, and the Royalist army tried to take it, but I don't think they succeeded. And it's got a very grim history, this. It was a prison until a few years ago. And in the 19th century there was a lot of public executions here. So the castle remained as a prison until 2011 when it was closed down. But I think they still have a Crown Court here. And these are all the old prison cells. I'm going to have a quick look around the town centre before going to my hotel for the afternoon. Right, I'm going to my hotel now to plan my walk for tomorrow. I'm walking to Carnforth and then onwards to, I think, to Kendal. So until then, good night. Monday the 27th of June. Today I'm continuing along the Lancaster Canal. I'm heading towards Carnforth, and then from Carnforth I'm going to head up to a big public access forest just north of the town, and I'll be camping up there tonight. Strangely enough, there's not many campsites in this region, but I don't feel like staying in another hotel, so I'm just going to be camping in the wood tonight. It was really awful weather this morning, but it's clearing up now, and I think it might actually be quite sunny this afternoon with a bit of luck. I've just arrived in Carnforth. I've just been looking on Google Maps and I've just found a campsite. I don't know how I missed that one before, because it's exactly where I want to stay tonight. There's a campsite called Gibraltar Farm just outside Silverdale. So I'm going to stop for a coffee in Carnforth and then head out to Silverdale. It sounds a very nice place. It's even had a mention in the Daily Telegraph, the campsite, so it must be quite posh. So be there sometime this afternoon. I'm following the Lancashire cycleway to Silverdale. Just approaching Silverdale. I think it's very close to Morecambe Bay, so hopefully there'll be some really nice sea views from the campsite. I've just arrived at Silverdale, which overlooks Morecambe Bay. I think I'm getting quite close to Cumbria now, and that would be my last English county before I arrive in Scotland. which is something to look forward to. My campsite is just down the road, about a mile away, so I'm just popping over there now. Just arrived at Gibraltar Farm campsite. Just set up my tent in the tent area of the campsite. It's nice hiking in June because it's the campsites are very quiet. I think when the school holidays start in July, it's going to get a bit crazy then. So anyway, I'm going to plan my walk for tomorrow. I'm walking to Kendal, walking to the Camping and Caravan Club site at Kendal, which is about a 15-mile walk away. So until then, good night. Thursday, the 28th of June. So today I'm walking to Kendal, and then I think the day after I'm walking to Ambleside in the Lake District. It's nice weather this morning, but the forecast is rain coming in this afternoon, so hopefully I'll be almost in Kendal by then. So if my map reading is correct, this bridge is where I leave Lancashire, and now I'm walking into Cumbria, and this is my last English county before Scotland. I've planned out that I'll be arriving in Scotland in about 7 days time. I'm spending 2 nights in Carlisle, and then next Tuesday I hope to be arriving at Gretna, so I'll be looking forward to that. Just arrived in the centre of Kendal. I'm just going to have a quick look around the town centre and then head out to the campsite. Wednesday the 29th of June. I got to the campsite just in time last night because it started raining in the afternoon and then it rained all night. But this morning I've just got a short walk to Ambleside where I'll be staying in a hotel, and I think today it's just going to be sunshine and showers. So it should be quite a nice walk to the Lake District. I'm about 5 miles from Ambleside, so I guess I'm getting quite close to Lake Windermere, which I'm quite looking forward to. It should be quite picturesque over there, and the countryside's definitely getting more scenic now. Tomorrow I'm going to Ullswater Lake, and I think I've got a walk going over one of these big hills, so I'm hoping it'll be quite nice weather. There should be some nice views. I've just arrived at Ambleside, right next to Lake Windermere. Unfortunately, it's just too dark and wet and gloomy to do any filming at the moment. It's just a very wet day. So I think I'm just going to go to my hotel, which is very close, and then tomorrow morning I'll get up early and hopefully get some nice shots of the town and the lake. So until then, good night. Thursday the 30th of June. Today I'm heading up into the mountains, or the fells as they call them in northern England. I'm heading for the Scanlon Pass. It's a walking trail over to Glenridding and then to Ullswater. So I'm also going to a place, I think it's Little Hart Crag. And that's a fell that's 537 metres above sea level, so I'm hoping the sun will come out today and I'll get a nice view. So this is Lake Windermere, the largest natural lake in England. It's just over 11 miles long and nearly a mile wide at its widest point. And it's very popular for water activities. So now I'm just going to go to the supermarket, get some sandwiches for the day, and then I'll be heading up Scandale Fell. Well, the weather has certainly got off to a good start, but the forecast today is just sunshine and showers, so there might be a sharp shower coming in at some point. Just down there there's a stream called the Scandale Beck, and that's what I'm following for the uphill part of this journey. And I'm just going up now to the first landmark. It's a little stone bridge called High Sweden Bridge. So I'll have my little break when I get there. I called the Scandale Beck a little stream. Actually, I think it's a bit bigger than that. I can hear it just down there at the bottom of the valley. So I'll be following this path all the way to High Sweden Bridge. So this is High Sweden Bridge. I'm not sure why it's called that. Maybe it's built by Swedish people, or this is how bridges look like in Sweden. But it's a very picturesque part of the moors now, so I think it's a very easy walk coming up here actually, but I think as I get closer to the Scandale Pass, then it starts getting a little bit more steeper. Well, I've got all day. The whole hike is only about 11 miles, so I'm just going to take it easy today. I can just see Lake Windermere over there in the distance. So this is the route I'm taking. It looks pretty straightforward. I'm just following this valley up to Scandale Pass this morning. So it's so far it's a very easy, straightforward route to follow this. So I guess that's Scandale Pass just coming up now. It's starting to look quite steep. So I'm just going to have a little break at the bottom and then start walking to the top, and hopefully if it's still nice weather I can get some really great views when I get up there. Just arrived at Scandale Pass, so I'm just going to have a little break here. I'm just reading the hiking app I'm using on this trail, and it says that 4 paths meet here. There's one from Ambleside, and then there's one from the northern end at Kirkstone, and then one from Bulky Red Screes, and one from Little Hart Crag. And I think up there, that's where I'm going next. That's the fell, I forgot the name now. I think Little Hart Crag. I think that might be it. So I think that's where I'll be heading for now. Then I'll be heading northwards towards Ullswater. Just arrived at the top of Little Hart Crag, and I can see where I'll be going this afternoon. I think that lake down there is Brothers Water, and so Ullswater will be just further to the north of that. There is a walking trail. I forgot the name of the ridge, but it follows that ridge and it goes down. If I've got time I might just try doing that, but I think the rain clouds are coming in. I might just stay up here for a little bit and then go down to the main road that goes to Glen Ridding, and then just walk in that way, because might get a bit stormy up here this afternoon because I think it's starting to get a bit grey. So the clouds are clearing now, so I've made a decision. I'm going to try and go up to Hart Crag. I think it's the highest point on the ridge, and then after that I'm just going to go down to Glen Ridding, down through the valley. There's a path that goes through the valley to Brothers Water, so I'm just going to go down that way. I've just arrived at Dove Crag. I think I'm going to call it a day here now. Hart Crag is the next one along, but I don't really think there's any need to continue. I think there's really gorgeous views up here, so I'm just going to stay up here for a break and then carry on down. So just looking over here, I think I can see Windermere quite easily, just over there in the south. Just to the southwest, I don't know if a GoPro can make it, but that's Coniston Water over in the distance, and I think I can just make out the coastline. I think Barrow in Furness is in that direction, and this is looking northwards again to Ullswater, where I'll be walking along Ullswater Lake tomorrow towards Penrith, which will be quite nice. And further over there in the distance would be Carlisle, where I hope to be in 4 days' time. A really nice view of the mountains to the west of here. Sun's just coming out now, which is quite nice. So one last look at the scenery, and then it's time to head down to Glen Ridding. So I think that's Hart Crag just up there, but there's no point in going up there this afternoon. I'm just going to look for a trail now that goes down this valley, and it's down to Glen Ridding for a nice mug of coffee. And this is the path from Dove Crag down to Brothers Waters. There's a lot of nice waterfalls on the way down. It is quite a steep descent this, but it's very scenic. But I hope to be getting down to the Brothers Waters and the village in about half an hour or so now. Well, I said I'm only about half an hour away from Glen Ridding, but I've just looked at my hiking app. I'm still about another 5 miles away. It's not a big problem, it's just that there's a convenience store there. I was hoping to get some snacks. I'm still hoping to get there before the shop shuts. But if it is, I'm sure there'll be a pub or a restaurant I can go in tonight. But I'm off the mountains now. I'm just following this river down to Brothers Water Lake and then onwards to Glen Ridding. Just passing the very scenic Brothers Water Lake on the way to Glen Ridding. Just arrived in Glen Ridding with plenty of time to spare. The convenience store still open, so I'm just going to get some snacks and then head up to the campsite. Just arrived at Gills Farm campsite at Glen Ridding. £12 for one person and a tent, which is quite nice. I think this is the busiest site I've been to on my Lejog walk so far. There's a few people here. It's not full, but it's certainly a very popular site. So tomorrow I'm walking to Penrith along Ullswater, and I've not decided on my route yet because I might just follow the main road because I'm pretty sore after today. So I need a bit of a rest. So I might just take the road route to Penrith. And I think there's a couple of footpaths around each side of Penrith, but I'll see how I feel in the morning. So anyway, until then, good night. Friday the 1st of July. I had a look at my map last night and I found a very good route to Penrith. So all I'm doing, I'm going to the neighbouring village of Patterdale. Then from there you can cross over to the south side of Ullswater Lake. And then there's just a footpath for a couple of miles to a minor road which follows the side of the river all the way to the far end. So that's my plan, and then I hope to be Penrith this afternoon, about mid-afternoon. So hopefully the plan is I can cross over to the other side. There'll be a footpath following the side of the river, and then just over there there's a small place called Sandwick, and that's where I can get onto a minor road which will follow the rest of the route along Ullswater. I'm on a walking trail called the Ullswater Way, and this goes all the way around the lake. So Lake Ullswater, it's a bit smaller than Windermere. It's 7 miles long and about 3/4 of a mile wide at its widest point, and it's about 60 metres deep at its deepest point. And unlike the other lakes in the Lake District, it was scooped out by a huge glacier in the Ice Age. I'm about a mile or so from Penrith. It's just on the other side of the M6 motorway. I've just arrived in Penrith. These are the ruins of Penrith Castle. This was built in the 15th century as a defence against Scottish raids, and in 1471 it was given to Richard, Duke of Gloucester, who eventually became Richard III. And that is how the castle used to look. It's very close to the town centre, the castle, so I'm going to go to a cafe now because I'm a bit early for my hotel and the skies are getting very dark now, so just going to have a little lunch break before I go to my hotel. Just arrived in the centre of Penrith. This is the 19th century clock tower, which is the main landmark of the town centre. Just going to have a quick look around and then head off to my hotel. I think it's going to start pouring down soon, but I'm just going to go to my hotel in about 10 minutes. Tomorrow I'm heading to a town called Armothwaite, I think, and that's halfway to Carlisle, and then the next day I'll be walking to Carlisle where I'll be spending a couple of nights. So until then, good night.